So we're back. We're back. Alex Rosen couldn't make it today because he's on a flight back to
Houston.
But we have Mike Villani, a.k.a.
Douglas King Jr.
Douglas King Jr. First of all, where did that come from?
So the civil rights activist. There's Frederick Douglass, and he has his famed diary. That's right, Frederick Douglass diary. And he was a slave, but he got out of slavery, learned to read and write and that kind of thing. And Martin Luther King Jr., as we all know, I mean, for goodness sakes, and these are men of peace and just reform and trying to make change, a positive, historical figures. So kind of when choosing that name, I was thinking, I'll say these two kind of iconic names that most people know about, and they'll probably see me as someone of peace, and they won't be as nervous and afraid of. Also, it's funny because they're black and I'm white.
Right, there you go. Well, I can see the humor there.
Yeah.
But you're part of, and I guess now a national community called the Predator Poachers.
Yep.
And I got to meet Alex Rosen, who I guess started it.
Yeah, he's a founder and he's been running this for the past 6 years.
Okay. And so I met him earlier this year in January in front of my apartment building in Rockville Center.
Yep.
Where you guys were catching, I forgot his name. Was it Marvin?
Marvin Guerrero.
And if my memory is correct, he told his in-laws or something that he had to run some errands.
Correct.
And so he had his in-laws watching his, I guess, infant child or child while he went out to go and meet a 13-year-old, which happened to be staged at my apartment building.
Yes, that is correct. And funny enough, I was the one posing as a 13-year-old then. And yeah, he came in with the intention of having sex with a minor, and thankfully we were there instead of a real 13-year-old.
Yeah, and you guys have been busy ever since.
Yep.
I mean, so let's just cut to modern today. A couple days ago, you guys have been in the news a lot. Wading River, musical teacher, got caught, I guess, texting or communicating with another 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Get into it. Let me know, the basis.
Yeah, so funny enough, like Marvin Guerrero, I was the one posing as a 13-year-old girl again, which it's crazy because I'm not normally able to do it as much as I used to, just given that I'm running around catching the people and driving everywhere, and then I'm editing the videos and also still editing for Alex too on this, as part of our partnership. So
right.
I really rarely have time to decoy, but in this case with the teacher, Mark Verity, elementary school music teacher, less than a week ago, honestly, in 2 hours, it'll be exactly 1 week ago where I first actually responded to him online. He just messaged me hi on October 5th. And I didn't see it.
Just so I know, high on what?
The social media app Kick.
Okay.
Where a majority of the guys we got on Long Island, we met through this app.
Okay.
It's essentially like a messenger app with chat rooms, that kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So he messaged me because he saw my account in this hookup chat called Long Island Fet, like fetishes,
Okay.
So, but I didn't see it for about 8 days because running around doing a bunch of other stuff. And in the middle of editing one of Alex's videos, I had to blur this lady's face. The camera was kind of shaky, so I was getting stressed out. I'm like, what's going on Kick? With no expectation. And then I responded to him, and he messaged me back. I told him I was just got back from school, which was kind of stupid because it was Columbus Day.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh no, I meant track cross country practice, and he bought it. And he told me he's 37 years old and from Islip. He didn't tell me what he did or anything like that. So then the conversation moved from Kick to Snapchat. He was getting pretty flirty on Kick, but not overtly inappropriate, for lack of a better word. And then once we got to Snapchat, and a lot of these guys like to do the conversations on Snapchat because they're under the impression that the messages get deleted after 24 hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but and also they get notified if there's screenshots. But thankfully, I found a workaround for that, and because the police don't like when you take pictures of a screen, like they'd rather it be more forensically trackable. Okay. So luckily, I found the workaround, and I just kept asking for a face picture because we have a great research team who's able to figure out who people are using this like facial recognition type thing. I don't know enough about it. I can't really comment on it. But finally we with a team effort, the girl the woman whose photos I use, helped me out in convincing him that we're real. And Emily, my girlfriend who helps me film everything, she's my partner, as a lot of you all know. She spoke to him on the phone, like it's a girl voice on the phone. So he finally sent a picture of his face, and that's when we figured out exactly who he was, and kind of prompted the urgency given his proximity to hundreds of kids on a daily basis. That's
so wild to me.
Yeah.
So upon when you got figured out who he was after you got the picture, how long did you guys set up the meeting to actually meet him? Like a day or a couple days?
Yeah. So funny enough, Alex was in the Northeast. He was visiting some family, and we had already been planning on meeting in Pennsylvania to catch someone he had.
Right.
But I'm like, hey, I actually found this teacher, like his elementary school teacher. I believe, I wasn't 100% sure at the time. And I'm like, I think we should. I think I won't be able to go. Like I want to get this guy immediately. And Alex is like, let me see the chats. Like because certain times like certain thresholds with the chats, like certain criminality and that kind of thing.
Right.
So he saw the chats, and I sent him that, the guy was still communicating with me, and he was like, screw it, let's just get him. But we also thought, okay, maybe we should wait for him to do a little bit more, like send an inappropriate picture of himself, because that usually like guarantees an arrest. So we gave him one day, and we were like, let's get Alex's guy in Pennsylvania. Let's see if we can get him. Maybe the guy will send the picture, and it'll be like a surefire arrest.
Right.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the guy in Pennsylvania. He wasn't there. So he came to Long Island Tuesday last week, and we printed out the chat logs and everything, and it wasn't a planned meetup. Like, he didn't think he was meeting up with the kid for sex, for inappropriate after school. But we just knew where he worked. We knew like exactly where. And the night before, we scouted out to see what car he has, like his license plate, that kind of thing. Because, I know a lot of times in our videos we have like the families involved, like they're there, and like we catch the people in front of their families. But one, we feel bad for the families, like that first and foremost. Like, they're not guilty, and like it sucks when they get kind of looped into the thing. So we don't want to do it with them there if we can avoid it. So luckily we knew where he worked, and so that way we didn't have to involve the family. And even more importantly, we didn't do it with the kids around, because we didn't want to traumatize hundreds of kids. So we just parked right next to his car in the Wading River School parking lot, waited for dismissal. All the kids got out of school, all the buses left, and he was heading to his car, and Alex and I got in the way and just started talking to him, and that was that.
It blows my mind that somebody could be a school teacher.
Right.
And even like the last time Alex, you were here, it was like that guy was also a parent, and this guy's a parent.
Yeah.
This guy's he's a parent and a teacher.
Yeah. No, it's really surprising. Like, you would think, like, especially once these people have children, like, but these people are wired very differently, and and it's we even got to asking about that. It's like, did you have the feelings that you have towards children before or after you became a teacher? And he didn't really have an answer for it, but I think a lot of times these guys have always had these types of feelings, and it's scary to think that some people do become teachers with or without, like, with these feelings,
Right. And I saw that, most of the time, I don't know, when I read the papers, I feel like a lot of the families, they shun these people when they find out like what they've been doing behind the scenes. And I saw like this guy's parents actually, like, not only they bailed him out, they used their house as collateral, which is also nuts. I don't know if it's nuts, but
no, it is. I mean, it reminds me of Goodfellas, like when Karen's parents put Henry's. They put their house up for his bail, but in this case, it's very surprising. Like most parents, you would think, would disown their children for that.
Like my son's disgusting or whatever,
right? Like they have to face the consequences of their actions. So, we know several people who've kicked out their own sons, like mothers have kicked their sons out for this. So it really makes you wonder why, they're going this like above and beyond to help their son out when he's admitted to the crimes that have been accused against him,
Right. What do you think this guy's like short-term future looks like now that, everyone knows he's in the paper. He obviously is not working anymore. He's living at his parents' house, I'm assuming. What do you think this looks like for this guy?
I don't know. I mean, clearly the parents putting the house up for, I guess, collateral for the bail indicates he would have been in jail, which is where I think he belongs. But, a lot of people have been reaching out to us, people who knew him and, even close relatives, like just people who've crossed paths with him in life. So we'll know for sure. But, I don't know. I mean, he's a miserable situation and he deserves it.
It's like all these thoughts go through my mind and I'm going like, now, what do you do now? Also, like if you're a parent of a child that's been at that school, how long was he teaching there?
Oh my goodness. At least 10 years.
So what do you do if you're a parent now that had a child at that school within the last 10 years or even had, a kid that took a music class?
Yeah. And the music classes, I think they're from like at least 3rd grade to 5th grade.
Which is like, seems like it could be right in his sweet spot.
Yeah, because he said the youngest he's seen of inappropriate images of kids is 8 years old. But he was actually asking for 13 to 16-year-olds when talking to these people who had all the images. So he's more into middle school, early high school, which, it's still horrible. It's like, but, he clearly is all right with kids as young as the ones he teaches in that type of way. So it's hard to say, like, but we've had like probably hundreds of students reach out to us talking about him.
Yeah, nice, because I did read some of the Instagram comments of someone like calling him like Mr. Pickle or like. Did you get any insight on that?
Yeah. So I thought they were talking about Alex,
right?
Because his code word for calling the police is fried pickles.
Right.
Ours is good bagels because Long Island.
Right.
But. Yeah, no, I was confused. I'm like, Mr. Pickle, because we were all just eating dinner. I'm like, why are they calling you Mr. Pickle? Who the hell does that? But turns out Mr. Verity, Mark Verity, would give out like these pickle gifts. Someone told me he actually went to South Jersey, to buy pickles for the students. But I think like real pickles, but these kids were saying it was like stuffed pickles. So it was his students,
right,
actually hitting him up, posting these comments, and a lot of them were DMing us on Instagram, like, and parents too, like people who knew him from the past, like. This is like a really great, this guy.
It's so weird. It's like one of those things where everyone's slapping themselves going, oh my God, I always thought I had a feeling he was weird or whatever the case may be. But
apparently he had really sweaty armpits too, like famously sweaty armpits. I don't know, maybe it's because he was.
Maybe he was around the kids and he was getting worked up.
Which is crazy to think about and disturbing, but I don't know. Seems like a wreck, this guy.
Jeez. Well, so since you've been involved, I guess, so was the catch with when we met, was that your first catch with Alex locally?
Well, yeah, locally it was my first catch with him. Excuse me.
Sure.
And that was like when we were just kind of like finalizing me starting my own branch. So I like that was the first time I ever decoyed anyone in general. And after that catch, Alex kind of gave me the blessing to start my own chapter here because I'd had some experience in the past doing this kind of work. And then the first guy we ever caught was January 31st in Rockville Center again.
Yep.
But we were trying to get that. You were actually there that time.
Yeah.
We were trying to get him here the first time. And apparently he showed up, but he bailed. I wish I knew he had the tan Mercedes at the time, because I feel like I remember seeing it, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like, and that was a wild discussion that you had with him. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
You met him over by the Fantasy Theater in front of Casey's.
Exactly.
And then you had this whole talk, how you normally do. You have all the pieces of paper there of all the chats and whatever, and he's trying to explain how he was trying to do it because he wanted to do something good and explain to her that she shouldn't be doing these things. And then you go into your whole thing about like, dude, you sent her a picture of your whatever. Yeah. And it's like, well, I was just doing that, for her. Yeah,
no, he really was like he filled out the bingo card himself. A lot, like all the excuses that these guys have. A lot of our supporters like have like a bingo card, like, oh, I was trying to tell her to not do this stuff. Like, I lost like someone in my family, so I'm just kind of off right now. Like, it was my first time. Like, I got hacked. Like all these things. Like at least he didn't say he got hacked or anything, but. Yeah, that whole like stay in school nonsense that these guys do, like he was like a textbook example of that.
Jeez,
and he was horrible. And I don't know if you know, he met us again.
No, I didn't know that.
Oh my God!
Again?
Yeah. So we were trying to get.
Well, did he get arrested the first time?
He got arrested the first time, and he's since pled guilty, just like Marvin Guerrero.
Right.
And but he tried to he asked to meet up again, not me as a kid. Like, he was asking like me, Mike, Douglas, whatever. He wanted to meet up and kind of explain himself. And so I asked him to meet me again in Rockville Center, just because like familiar territory.
Thank you.
I knew nothing was going to happen at that point. Like, I couldn't even turn him over to police because it's just like he just wants to talk to me. It has nothing to do with like a kid again or anything. Right. So I asked him to go to Dark Horse because trusted allies. We love Dark Horse. And then he asked if we can go talk by the police station. I'm like, what? You want to talk by the police station? Why the hell you want to do that? And it's because he told his wife he got arrested, and he lied to her and said he was getting his fingerprints at the station from his arrest the other week. And it was also his wife's birthday. It was Valentine's Day. That's how we spent Valentine's Day. Was talking to this guy again after we were trying to get
what do you want to say?
He basically was just trying to say it was like a complete misunderstanding.
Oh my God.
He didn't do anything like this. He asked if I could like take the video down. He was like, I can even donate to your cause, like kind of thing. At that point, we were like making no money, nothing like that. And then he asked if I'd be willing to testify on his behalf, like in the court, and asked him to remove the video. Like really crazy shit. It's shit we could say, right?
That's fine.
And here
fine,
too,
yeah,
because YouTube's fine with it.
Yeah,
but,
shit's fine.
Shit's cool. But so he just was like saying all this nonsense for like an hour, and I'm just sitting there in the 11-degree weather, and ultimately I'm like, I'm not gonna testify. Don't you don't have to donate to us, like
right.
And that was 8 months ago.
Were you mic'd up for that?
Oh yeah, he was mic'd up.
Oh my God.
I'm like, do you mind putting this on? I'm like, he let me frisk him.
What
and
is wrong with these people? It's like, I feel like it's just like
they're foolish. And at that point, like he was at that time he was still the only guy we had ever caught. We didn't even get the second guy yet. So he probably thought, oh, I could reason with them, like,
right.
But he can't because. He's a child predator.
So since you've been active in Long Island, I guess since January.
Yeah.
I know we've seen on social media, but like how many guys have you caught in the last 10, 11 months?
So we are at 48 guys now.
Wow.
Yeah. And in four catches, we'll average one a week for the entire year.
That's mind blowing that there's that much going on in that.
Yeah. It's really crazy.
Like most people wake up in the morning, they go to work and they put their pants on and they come home and they have dinner, and like there's a whole other dark side of the world. Just that's a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. And we wake up in the morning and throw our pants on and go to work to catch these guys and get them locked up as best as we can.
Because I wish there was like, you know, like I guess we've talked about it before, like real like government agencies, they can't like aggressively do what you do, I guess, because it's, you know.
Yeah, different rules and protocols. Like they got way more red tape. That's why we don't call law enforcement in advance, because one, it just takes them longer. They have a huge like backlog of guys they got to get, or guys and women,
right?
And also every other kind of emergency or crime that's going on. So, you know, I don't blame law enforcement for not, like, why is this guy free right now? Like, there's a lot of other moving parts that prevent them from being able to do it, but that's why groups like us do what we do. Like, you know, we have more time and we don't have as much red tape. We can ask them whatever we want and at least help expedite the process of getting these guys caught and locked up.
It's amazing because it's just at first it was just you. Yeah. And now it's you and your girl.
Yeah.
But it's like you're just two people. And you managed to catch almost, 50 evildoers.
Yeah.
In 10, 11 months.
No, it just shows that, it's a big problem. And I think it's scary, of course. Like the people like are bad, evil people. But
they don't look like it, which is wild because it's like, what I've seen you catch. I've seen a couple guys that look like, okay, they look like they're drug addicts, but I've seen a couple of them are just like you said, a school teacher, a parents. They're like, they're walking amongst, they're standing next to you at a PTA meeting. It's
and there's really like no one size fits all. Like like you said, it's like all different types of people. And like, a lot of people ask like, aren't you concerned for your safety? And like, yeah, like, to an extent, like, I just hope they don't have a gun or like they're not crazy. Like we've had people like assault us pretty much, like, but I'm more concerned about like guns and knives really. And just, if they are crazy, but if you really think about it, these people are going after kids, like, these guys, like they're going after young girls who really can't defend themselves. Like, women, like they don't even go after women.
Right.
Like, so they are probably way more scared of me than I am of them.
Right.
And that really does give me peace of mind when going into these things, but still you never know. But in the end, we're just, I always say in the videos, we're just two punks from Long Island. Like just like two people who, we're not perfect. We're not saints. We don't claim to be a hero or anything like that. But we just care about, like bad people doing bad stuff. And we want to do whatever we can to try to, stop them from doing it.
Well, I mean, I can tell you, Long Island thanks you. I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And, it's just, but again, I'm sure like when you roll up on these guys and you have like all the proof there and you look like you're already at the end of what's going on and then they realize it, I'm sure what they're going to do, they're going to stab you to death right there.
Right.
I mean, at that point, it's already over.
Yeah.
I feel like all they have to do is maybe try to befriend you.
Yeah, try to convince me. Yeah, maybe convince me to testify and say it's all this misunderstanding, like a mirror. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like, sorry.
It's all right. Like some water.
Yeah. I'm just getting over being sick.
All right, I'll grab you some.
Oh, thank you so much.
You got it.
Yeah, no, I don't know. There's really not that much to be afraid of with these guys at this point. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I've said, people have tried to assault us, but
right.
All right.
Oh man. Out of, the 40 plus you guys caught around here, is there one that really hasn't hit the media as much as it should have? Like any of one you want to point out or just put a little spotlight on?
Well, one definitely for sure, and like we've already kind of made a big stink of it, is the case of Nick Mignon. And like, at the time, like we reported to police, the Nassau County PD didn't really seem to, thank you so much. So Nassau County PD really seemed like completely uninterested in the case. And just kind of, they didn't even take my evidence, and I had to go to the PD to like drop off the evidence, which is pretty unusual. And so we were hoping that they were going to do something about it. One of the detectives even told me they were going to arrest him. I was very excited. And then I just kept hearing for months people were going. And Also, sidebar, the pharmacy that he works at, Bethpage Pharmacy, it's owned by Jeff Langley, I think is his name. We tried, so people were calling them concerned about Nick working there, and Jeff was telling people that our video was fake, it was a lie. And so I just thought, okay, maybe he's just confused, like he doesn't really understand what's going on. So I was trying to be like, hey, like, you're telling people our video is fake. I just want to clear up with you, like, that's not the case. Like, the video is very real. Like, you know, we're happy to talk to you about it. And he was like a complete jerk.
Really?
Like, over the phone and everything. So what we did was we went to Staples, we reprinted out the chat logs, and even crazier, Nick was talking to who he believed to be another kid. It was still me. Because first he was talking to her, then he was talking to me. And so we reprinted out like the old logs, the new logs, and just because like we had like M on the iPhone, like Jeff and the clerk lady like freaked out at us, and Jeff never wanted to hear about it. I'm like, Jeff, like you are employing someone who is like preying on kids. You're in like a high traffic zone of like young people walking around here. Probably young girls go there to get their feminine hygiene products.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like, look, you got to know at least and like maybe do something about it because this guy's no good. And so then months later, he's still employed there. And it's like the end of September, like a few weeks ago. And this new team we're working with, New York Pred Hunters, he started back in September. We kind of worked together because he's a Nassau guy too. To kind of raise awareness and like let the people of Bethpage know, like Nick Mignon preys on children, and Jeff, the owner, is aware of this because we made him aware numerous times. Other people have made him aware numerous times, and Nick's still working there. And for whatever reason, Nassau PD hasn't done anything. So during the Ryder Cup, that's what it was. There was a big block party thing, and we walked around with flyers like Nassau PD failed you, and like because all this is happening, we laid everything out, put the QR code for the video.
I wonder why.
I really think it's got to be something with the DA because we kind of cleared up with Nassau PD. Like, you know, it's not the detective's fault. It's not like they don't want to get. It's not like they don't want to get bad guys. Like,
yeah, of course.
And I think it's just an issue of like the DA and the prosecutors. They don't want to take our evidence, but you know, even like guys that they have on their radar. I'm not gonna say who because they asked me not to. But guys they had on the radar, it's like we get this additional evidence, but because we're civilians, they don't want to use it. But it's crazy because Suffolk County rocks. We love working with Suffolk County. The digital forensics unit is awesome. At this point, I want to start inviting them to our barbecues. But they're great guys, and like they're very cool. They always take our cases very seriously. And you know, we have multiple grand jury indictments in Suffolk. They have no qualms of a civilian or law enforcement how the evidence is obtained. So, you know, we really like working with them, and thankfully now I feel like Nassau's kind of connecting with Suffolk. And if we have to talk to the DA, I mean, I know there's an election coming up for the DA's office in Nassau. Right. Hopefully we can get in front of them and just like try to reason with them. Like, hey, take our evidence seriously. Like, we know what we're doing. We're not. This is an amateur hour. Like, you know, we work with like one of the biggest predator catching groups in the country. Like, let's do it.
It is pretty crazy how it's grown to like a whole. How many chapters are there now?
So there's us, Predator Poachers Long Island. There's Predator Poachers Illinois. There's Predator Poachers Washington, and Predator Poachers Toronto is coming into the fold. They actually used to work with Alex kind of as an affiliate, but I think they're coming back. I'm very excited because we do have an arrest in Canada too. Really? Ourselves, which is exciting.
Why do you think these groups pop up in these locations?
You know, I
Is there any rhyme or reason?
I don't know if it's location based, but it's just like people like who have a passion for seeing like, you know, objectively bad people be caught.
Right.
I don't know if it's something in the water.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like, you know, Batman. It's not like you sprout up.
Gotham is this hellhole.
Yeah, you sprout up where you're needed.
Yeah.
But it's more of like, you know, just the search of doing what's right, I guess. And
yeah. And, you know, I mean, like, at least, like, I can speak for here. It's like, just on Long Island, there's, I think, 8 million people. Plus the city has 8 million people. Plus the New York State, I guess, has the other 13 million, whatever. So there's so many damn people in this state. And, you know, sadly, like, I mean, we've only caught about 20 on Long Island. And in terms of New York, it's got to be way more. Like, we're probably closer to 25, maybe almost 30. So like about half our catches are New York. So there's just so many people. Unfortunately, the odds, like the more people, the more likely there's going to be a lot more child predators. So, but yeah, I mean, like in Washington State, I don't know how many people are, I mean, except for Seattle, but
right.
Like it's not like so densely populated, but you know, sadly, yet also good. We're busy here. Like we get to, you know, not have to travel so far to get these guys because everyone's so densely populated. But sadly, we're busy, is what I always say.
Right. I mean, what would you tell parents that are trying to keep their kids safe? You know, like even, I know digitally you could give us some tips, but like, you know, even like if it's a teacher, like how do you make your kids smart to like know what grooming is or to know what's appropriate or inappropriate without like freaking them out?
Yeah.
You know, how do you not tell your kid, oh, if your teacher's doing this and shoving a pickle in your mouth, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, how do they know what's weird?
So I think like it really just stems from like, you know, like good parenting in the sense of like, you know, being available for your kids, you know, kind of showing them like, you know, how, like what you do as a parent versus what an adult, like a separate adult who's not your parent is totally different. Like they need to treat you this way like versus how we treat you. And also just kind of boosting like the kids' self-esteem, like so they feel like good and confident like in themselves, and they can be like smart enough and like, you know, not really doubt their like inherent feeling of a situation, because you know, if they feel insecure and like dumb or like just not capable of reading a situation, then odds are they won't be able to decipher like if something wrong is happening. So I think making sure a kid like understands boundaries between themselves and adults, and like a good self-esteem can like help them realize like they can trust their gut instinct and know, okay, this guy, this teacher is acting super weird, and then you know, empower them to like tell you as a parent, tell another like authority figure about the situation, and like, you know, trust their gut. And I think that's like what you can do it just like in a human level with like children, and make sure that they are just aware and like are feel that confidence, you know.
And what about like digitally?
Digitally, it's
like, where are the hot spots? Like, where are you finding most of these guys?
Everywhere online.
Give me a couple of examples.
So at least on Long Island, just like methodically for us, Kik, it's a messenger app. If you see your kid on it, just delete it.
Yeah, because I mean, what's like? They just can't text. Like, what's the point, right?
Exactly. Yeah, because there's like chat rooms, and there's like, you know, you can join things about hobbies like sports and music, whatever. But a lot of it's just like creepy adults like trying to do inappropriate stuff with each other. And then they don't care about kids too because they're sick in the head.
Right. Anyways, you know, I can't believe that people give you guys crap. It's like I was just looking like in some of your comments, you posted something the other day that some woman like actually said to you that like she thinks you're doing this for like financial gain. Like this is like you hit the lottery by doing this.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean, like we just recently got to a point where we can like actually support ourselves doing this, like cover our bills and like, you know, pay, and also like without having anxiety attacks, paying for the travel to like go as far as we do. You know, we're at 10 states now. I forgot. We're at 10 states and Canada with catches. So, you know, like it's not like we do it for. It's like we don't have like this like disposable money left over. Like we're finally able to, you know, like not do other work like comfortably and be like, okay, we'll just keep on catching. We're all good. So there's so many other ways to make a lot of money. Like, you know, I mean, like, I'm a freelance video guy,
Right.
separately from this, but you know, like even just like doing stuff on social media. There's a million other things we could do to like make way more money.
Right.
But so that's not really the goal with this, but it's more of a calling to try to get these guys caught. So that's why we always laugh. Like, you're doing this for fame and fortune. Like, all right. Like, first of all, we're not that famous really, and
Right.
we're not that financially rich either. So
and you know, I guess I don't know. In closing, I don't know. Like, what do you want to leave off with?
You know, I mean, we're just gonna keep on keeping on. We might even have a catch tonight. We always might have a catch tonight every day, pretty much. Because you know, at a given time, we're talking to several folks. We definitely have a big trip coming up in November, and another trip coming up towards the end of the month. We're heading upstate, maybe hit Pennsylvania a little bit. So we're always working. We're constantly, and if anyone has any tips or any information about any of the guys we've caught or anybody that you think or know might be into kids like that, I know it sounds crazy just so
Right.
bluntly, but like, you know, if you have like a feeling or if you know, like, feel free to reach out to us because, well, you know, we take all the tips very seriously and we just want to get as many of these guys caught as we can.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike, for coming in.
Thank you, Jay. It's been fun.
And if anybody wants their contact info, I'll put it all in the comments or in the description or wherever you're watching or listening to this. And thanks again, Mike.
Thank you. It's been fun.